This is KGW News at noon.
Therefore, the Honorable Mike Johnson of the state of Louisiana, having received a majority of the votes cast, is duly elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 118th Congress.
After weeks of chaos, the House of Representatives has finally elected a new speaker. He's Louisiana Republican Mike Johnson. Thank you for joining us this noon. I'm Brenda Braxton. Johnson took the oath of office just about 30 minutes ago, then addressed members of Congress. He was a low-ranking member of the GOP leadership, but is now second in line to the presidency. He played a pivotal role in the Republican effort to overturn the 2020 election. Former President Donald Trump supported Johnson for Speaker, and not one Republican voted against him. Johnson has a lot of work ahead with a looming government shutdown and wars in Ukraine and the Middle East.
To my colleagues, I want to thank you all for the trust that you have instilled in me to lead us in this historic and unprecedented moment that we're in. The challenge before us is great, but the time for action is now, and I will not let you down.
We've heard from two local lawmakers since the vote. Republican Lori Chavez-DeRemer, who voted against Jim Jordan, decided to support Johnson. She says, quote, that she's hopeful Speaker Johnson will work effectively with all sides of the conference to advance common sense, pragmatic legislation that's good for our state and our nation. Meanwhile, Democrat Andrea Salinas called Johnson a MAGA extremist. She said, I have deep concerns about Speaker Johnson's ability to govern responsibly. Nevertheless, I'm hopeful that the new speaker will set aside his extreme views and work to find a bipartisan path forward. You can look for more on the vote later today on KGW and NBC Nightly News. Well, for the first time this fall, drivers are seeing snow down to pass level in the Cascades. That's a live look from the ODOT camera on Highway 26 at Government Camp. There's plenty of white, but the road itself appears clear. Let's send it over now to Rod Hill in the Weather Center with a look at the radar.
Well, good news, Brenda. Those temperatures have warmed up. So that's why we're seeing at least the highways in good shape. Government Camp, where we just looked at, 5 inches of new snow today. And here's the radar showing that, yeah, snow is still falling. That's what you see in white right there over the Cascades. Also snow showers out across mountainous areas of eastern Oregon. But for the rest of us, it's just rain. We've had some lightning early this morning down around Newport. In the past hour, we've had some lightning strikes down closer to Eugene. And here's a look at some of our cameras at the coast, Chinook Winds Casino Resort and Lincoln City. More rain coming in. Temperatures are holding steady as we thought they would. 50 in Lincoln City. Look at the raindrops on the lens from the Rose City. It's only 49, and we don't expect the temperature to warm up much. So it is going to be the coolest afternoon that we've had so far this fall season. I have us maybe getting up to 52. It's going to continue to be more rainy than not through the afternoon hours. And then once we get to 8 o'clock, just a few showers left over, and eventually drying is coming tonight. Brenda, don't forget some hail mixed with downpours. Still something that's very possible in the coming hours. Back to you.
Thank you, Rod. Other headlines we're tracking for you this noon. Oregon Supreme Court will hear arguments about Measure 113 in December. Voters passed it, preventing lawmakers from running for re-election if they have 10 or more unexcused absences during a legislative session. 5 GOP lawmakers sued the state challenging the law. They were among 10 Republicans who walked out of the session earlier this year over a political dispute. In Corvallis, one person was arrested in connection with a bomb threat at OSU. The threat involved the school's food delivery robots. Security sent an alert around noon yesterday advising people not to open the robots. The campus got the all clear within a few hours when no explosives were found. And Hillsborough police have arrested 2 teenagers for a shooting at a house party Saturday night. A 17-year-old was killed and a 16-year-old injured at a home on Northeast 34th Place. Police aren't releasing the names of the suspects because they're also juveniles. It's unclear if the teens have been charged. Tomorrow, an Alaska Airlines pilot will be arraigned in federal court, charged with interfering with a flight crew. 44-year-old Joseph Emerson was also in court yesterday here in Multnomah County. He pleaded not guilty to more than 80 counts of attempted murder. According to court documents, Emerson was off duty but in the cockpit last weekend, riding in the jump seat behind the two pilots who were flying the plane. They say he tried to pull the red fire suppression handles, which would have shut off the jet's engines. After wrestling with Emerson for about 30 seconds, the pilots say that they were able to calm him down and sent him to the back of the plane. They did land safely at PDX and Emerson was arrested. Police say he told them he was having a nervous breakdown, hadn't slept, was depressed, and had taken magic mushrooms 2 days before. Well, this incident is raising questions about the mental health of airline crews. Experts say many of them will deny any struggle that could lead to a diagnosis because even something like seasonal affective disorder could cost pilots their medical credentials. For more on all this, here's KGW's Catherine Cook.
For every flight that I operate as a captain, I assess my fitness for duty.
Greg Morris has been a pilot since 1997. He's now a captain for a major airline. And while many things have changed in his industry, one thing has not: the toll that often accompanies being away from loved ones and working all hours of the day.
It can be tough on pilots and flight attendants. And so we need to put a greater emphasis on mental health issues and the tolls that our job takes on us and the impacts that mental health can play.
Still, Morris and others in the industry note they must tread lightly here, given the Federal Aviation Administration's approach to mental health among pilots.
And unfortunately, due to restrictions by the FAA, diagnoses can be what we call grounding, or pilots can get their wings clipped.
Cora Christine is an aviation therapist. Her roommate is a pilot. She cares deeply for the industry. She says pilots who report mental health diagnoses are often grounded until they pay thousands of dollars out of pocket to prove they're not a safety risk. For that reason, she says they'll often avoid seeking help for everyday stressors that so many people struggle with.
Same with if your cat dies or you lose a family member and you're processing it. Most people take 6 months to a year to process really big changes. Depending on how your aeronautical medical examiner interprets that could be considered a mood disorder.
It's one reason that even as a licensed therapist, Christine uses the title life coach when helping aviation professionals. Less chance of a paper trail that could jeopardize her clients' careers. In that same vein, she fears many who need help may seek it through other means, like drug use.
We have to acknowledge the systemic damage that has been done up to this point for pilots that are stuck.
My hope is that we put a brighter light on the importance of mental health.
For Captain Morris, that includes helping pilots know where they can get help, including peer-to-peer groups that airlines provide. And with time, he hopes that the kind of help so many need will be available and celebrated rather than feared by those who need it.
Yeah, I think it's a problem. I think we need to let our guard down just enough to indicate that maybe we need some help.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Dozens of states, including Oregon and Washington, are suing the social media company Meta. It's the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. The suit alleges the apps purposely designed features to get kids addicted. KGW's Alma McCarty talked to Oregon's Attorney General about the research behind this lawsuit.
Washington say keep kids and teens addicted to apps like Facebook and Instagram.
Everybody has so much fun. Everybody loves it. They're on it all the time. Why are they on it all the time? Because they have basically set up MO to, frankly, addict young people to their platforms.
The 233-page lawsuit filed Tuesday in a California federal court alleges Meta intentionally designed and developed harmful features while downplaying the risks. Oregon's Attorney General Ellen Rosenblum pointed to research that shows young people's use of Meta platforms is associated with mental and physical health problems like depression, anxiety, and insomnia.
It's illegal for them to have to be promoting their platforms to young children, and that's what they're doing.
A Meta spokesperson told KGW the company shares the Attorney General's commitment to providing teens with safe and positive online experiences, noting some 30-plus tools they've introduced to do just that. However, Meta says it's, quote, disappointed that instead of working productively with companies across the industry to create clear, age-appropriate standards for the many apps teens use, the attorneys general have chosen this path.
We had no alternative. They gave us no alternative.
Attorney General Rosenblum says when this many AGs file a multi-state complaint, they're looking to force major change within the company and within the industry.
It's going to require pretty much a redo, and certainly awareness and acknowledgement. I think we have awareness, but we don't have acknowledgement of the harms.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.